I was inside and I heard some sort of commotion going on outside. It's not unusual because sometimes we do hear things going on outside, the odd argument or something. So at first I didn't think much of it. It's only until I heard like a bang, which sounded like a car crash, where I thought, let me sort of look out the window and see what's going on. So I couldn't see what car it had crashed into because my car's parked out there, so I was quite concerned. And then I heard someone scream, help. So me and my partner sort of ran outside. As soon as we got out there, we saw this guy pull this very young girl, probably about 2 or 3, out of the back of the car, and he lifted her up as high as he could, and he just slammed her to the ground. He'd done that twice, and it was after the second time where we sort of just ran in and just tried to stop what was going on. So I ended up sort of chasing him like halfway down the road. I had on slippers, so it was quite hard to continue running, so I ended up stopping. I had got back up to the top of the road, closer to where it happened, and my partner just said to me, just go and get some water. I still wasn't aware of what happened, so I just ran inside and just grabbed the water, and then I saw, I believe it was the mother of the child, and she was just screaming like, I can't see, her eyes weren't open, so I just opened the bottle of water and just sort of just sprayed her down with the water basically, and then a few more bystanders had some water and just done the same.
What sort of effect did the water have, and what was the extent of her injuries as far as you could see?
So it was quite clear that it was whatever substance it was burning her quite badly. So throwing the water on her was, I guess, probably soothing it a little bit, but it wasn't really doing much, I guess, because she was still, sort of screaming like, I can't see, sort of thing. Yeah.
What about the children? The police report states that the children had been impacted by this corrosive substance as well. Could you tell how much they'd been affected?
So the thing is, I didn't actually see any substance being thrown. The only thing I did see was the guy, again, slamming the child to the ground. So I'm not sure how much of it got onto them or, but what I do know is my partner did get a bit on her. I guess from picking up the little girl to try and comfort her. So she got a little bit on like the mouth area, a bit on her arms as well. So at one point she came inside to sort of wash off as well. I think she's still feeling a bit of burning sensation, but she's all right.
I understand your partner had to go to hospital to receive some treatment too.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
In terms of the children and their condition, they must have been extremely upset.
Yeah, so I believe my partner also spoke to the older daughter, and she mentioned that she said that they didn't like the guy. So that obviously indicates something a bit deeper. As to what it is exactly, only God knows. But yeah, they're obviously really shaken up.
Do you know whether they'd all been in the vehicle together before you heard that loud bang, or was this somebody that had been on the street?
Yeah, not too sure. But by the time I got outside, I know that the mum wasn't in the vehicle, but I definitely know for sure that the younger girl was in the vehicle. I'm not sure about the older one, but yeah.
The youngest girl had been slammed into the ground twice. Could you explain what sort of injury she might have received?
Well, from something like that, I'm guessing maybe a fracture or broken bones. I mean, the best way I can describe it is like, just someone just picking up a pillow. Like, this guy used all of his strength and just slammed her to the ground. And what done it for me was the sound of the girl hitting the ground. It was just it was quite horrific. Yeah.
Can you describe the man?
So he was from what I can remember, he was like an Asian guy, so not like Indian Asian, more like Chinese Asian. He was, I don't know, maybe around 5'6", 5'7". For the life of me, I can't remember what he was wearing. I just remember a black jacket. That was about it.
The police have praised the bravery of the members of the public, such as yourselves, who rushed in to help, and you chased after the man for a period as well. What made you want to do that?
For me, it was more the thought of him getting away with what he's done. And I just didn't want that. Again, you'd obviously already thrown acid on the mother. And then seeing him do that to the little girl, I mean, I've got a son, he's 2 years old. I mean, that could easily have been him. And for me, it wasn't right at all. And again, the thought of him just getting away with that is what triggered me to sort of just chase him in the first place. I didn't sort of think, he could turn around and throw it on me. I just thought, we've got to get him, basically.
Did you and your partner stay with the mother and her children until the ambulance arrived?
So a few people took them round to the hotel around the front, I guess to try and aid them a bit. And then police turned up maybe about 5 minutes later or so, and then
Is there any information the police have given you about what happened last night?
no, they haven't given us any additional information in terms of what happened. No.
How does it make you feel about the safety of this area? It's quite a leafy green, seems like quite a nice quiet street, and yet this tragic event has taken place.
It's kind of mixed really, because I mean on a normal day it's usually pretty okay around here. As I said, you do hear the odd argument sometimes at night, but never sort of on that scale. It's just, the odd shouting here and there. It might last maybe a few minutes and then it stops. I mean, other than that, I mean, the area seems okay enough. But I mean, after something like that, it's a bit, hard to say.
Police say that it was an isolated incident in the sense that this gentleman was known to the victims.
Okay.
Does that reassure you at all?
In terms of?
In terms of knowing that it wasn't a random attack?
I'm not too sure really. I mean, again, with the little girl saying that, she obviously didn't like him. Obviously that indicates that, they did know him, but it's just, what is it they didn't like about him? It was quite obvious that he was a bad guy in some form.
Did you hear him shout anything or say anything? What about as you were chasing him?
I didn't hear a word from him. I remember shouting at him, sort of telling him like to stop. Basically, that's about it. I don't remember anything coming from his mouth at all.
He headed towards Clapham Common. Did you see which direction he went?
I didn't know, because I had stopped at one point. I didn't see. Obviously I know he ran towards the end of the road. I don't know whether he went left or right.